Hi there everyone, Marcus here. Today I'm gonna showcase a new member of the AI interpolator family called Unstructured. This is a helper module to contextualize files basically. So Unstructured IO is a service that you can either use their software as a service. They have a free tier so you can try it out for, I think it's 1,000 requests per month. But it's also available then as an open source server that you can host yourself, which makes it very, very powerful. So what it is a server that takes unstructured files. You can see some examples here: HTML, PDF, CSV. It does Excel, for instance, as well. Images, PowerPoints, Markdown, and some other stuff. And structures this then into a way where AI can basically use it for whatever different requests you might think of, right? So the module exists here. It's called Unstructured. It's not necessarily just for AI interpolator. There is a submodule for AI interpolator. The idea is later that this is of course extremely powerful for search API, where you can index, PowerPoints, index images and so on based on text inside images and stuff like this. So if someone wants to co-maintain and help out with that, please let me know. I will eventually come to it later, but I don't have all the time in the world. So in this case, I'm just gonna showcase the AI interpolator part of it then. So I'm gonna showcase it in 3 different ways. I'm not gonna set up chains, by the way, in this case. I think you can realize how powerful this is in terms of chains, because setting up something as simple as you might have seen the example where I uploaded a video and it generates a web page, takes screenshots of that, right? Doing the same with a PDF or a PowerPoint is extremely simple with this and the OpenAI plugin. So this opens up for a lot of powerful workflows, but in this case I'm just gonna show how to plainly use the module, and I think you understand if you look at the other videos how you can actually chain this into really powerful things. Then I'm gonna showcase it in 3 different ways, because there's a lot of ways how you can use this. First of all, the actual module itself, it has 3 different rules, but within those rules there are a lot of settings as well. I will just show you here. So if you don't know about it, the AI interpolator is fully documented, how to get started, how to write your own plugins for it, all the available plugins, but also all the available rules. So I think we're up to like 80 rules or something now. And if you go then to any of the plugins, and in this case Unstructured, you can see the rules available. So I'm gonna showcase 2 of those in this case. The one I'm not gonna showcase is that you can also take a PDF or an image that has multiple images inside it, so to speak. So if you have an image of a poster where it's text and some small images, you can basically upload this file and get all those images out into image fields then. But this I'm not gonna showcase. I'm gonna showcase file to string and file to tables. So the first showcase I'm gonna do is take this PDF, and this I'm not gonna make ready for AI. In this case, what I want to do instead is I want to take this file that is fairly structured, right? It has like header 1, header 2, paragraphs, text, links, a table, and an image, and I want to generate actual HTML from this. So we're gonna take a formatted field and generate HTML from this. The other 2 examples then is I'm gonna take a very simple Excel file. This can be a lot more complex, of course, doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna use this then, files to tables, and this takes the table field module that is a third-party field type that is a structured way of showing tables. It's an awesome module if you want to show tables, right? So this structuralizes things as well. This is also probably not as useful for AI. And then the third thing I'm gonna show is I'm gonna take an image of a receipt, and this is a photo of a receipt, right? So it's, as you can see, it's not perfectly structured. The text inside the receipt is of course not written in text format in the JPEG as it is in a PDF or an Excel file then. So this is a lot harder, and in this case it's going to use AI modules to extract this. Just so you know, this can also run normal OCR models, which is AI, it's deep learning, right? But they have a generative AI model that's a lot more complex that I'm going to showcase in this case as well. So before I start showcasing how to set up this, just a friendly reminder, there is workflows-of-ai.com where you can find all the videos I've produced so far in a searchable and filterable format. Of course, you can use YouTube. You can subscribe to YouTube if you like the videos. But if you prefer to actually find them, this website exists. So let's get started. Well, let's go to the module. So we're just gonna do ddev in this case because I'm using ddev as the local environment, and composer require. Same with the table field here. So because this is not just a plugin for AI Interpolator, the composer file in this case will not download AI Interpolator by default, the core module. So if you don't have it and want to do this example, just click here on AI Interpolator, right? And then you just click here and you just get this as well, right? So that is getting the modules. We just log into our clean slate Drupal in this case. As always, the only thing I have done is install the admin toolbar. We just, oh, sorry. Not appearance, extend. I just need to turn on the different modules now. So we need unstructured and we need table field in this case, right? So table field is for this specific Excel example. But the first example we're gonna start with is PDF to HTML. I just disable a lot of stuff here I don't care about. And then we're gonna remove the default body field, gonna create a new field, and this is gonna be the file we upload that we're gonna use as the file that we want context from. Well, in this case, HTML then. And this is a file that we're gonna call the PDF file, and we allow the extension PDF. Of course, here then you could make a workflow where you take a lot of different types of unstructured files, and it always fills in this case formatted field type field, right? So that's what we're gonna create now, a formatted text format long that we called HTML representation. So this is gonna be the HTML representation of this PDF. We use full HTML, and then we enable the AI Interpolator. That's the important thing, right? We're gonna use this rule, unstructured API file to string. We're gonna use base mode, and we're gonna base it on the PDF file, right? Then under advanced settings, what is important then, if we want to actually create HTML, there is this output format where you can say you want pure text, you want Markdown, or you want HTML. Pure text and Markdown is very good for AI context. HTML is not, but if you actually want, like in this case, you don't care about the AI perspective of it, you just want a representation of the PDF in HTML, you just choose HTML. These are the different types that unstructured splits up text into. So you can actually choose that, oh, we just want images, for instance. That's possible if you would just want that, right? Then you can also split it into multiple fields. So if you set up here then to unlimited, so you can create multiple text fields, and you want to create one text field per page, you can split it up per page or even per element. That creates a lot of fields, just so you know. So this is every paragraph, every header and so on becomes its own field in that case. Then you can set strategy. Auto is very good if you have structured, if you have digital fields, so not the image representation of a receipt like we're gonna do later, then auto is usually good enough. But what you have here then is you have fast, which is just trying to do it as fast as possible. You can do OCR only. As far as I know, they use Tesseract in the background there. Or you can choose high res, and then you can choose one of the models. I'm gonna come to this later. We're gonna have checked extract images. So this means that if there are images in the PDF or image, and this doesn't work for Word for some reason, just so you know that. So it's not gonna extract images from Word. Then you need to convert it to a PDF if you want images. It's gonna extract that and put it into the WYSIWYG field in this case, so CK editor, right? There is this checkbox that's just to save API credential, so bypass on perfect match. That means if this file that I uploaded was a HTML file, there's no reason for me to send it to their API to create HTML, since it is already HTML. Same for Markdown, same for text. So we're just gonna save this. I just realized I forgot something, so we need to go to configuration to set up unstructured as well. Under web services, unstructured config. So here there are two ways to do it then. So you can use the software as a service, then you need to get the API key. And that's what I'm gonna do in this case then. So I'm just gonna copy and paste my API key here. But of course, if you self-host it, you can just reference your self-host. If you use API key there, of course you can use it as well. So that's it. Then we're gonna try this PDF to HTML. We just call the title PDF. We have this under examples. This PDF was what we wanted to do, and this is gonna fill out the HTML representation now when we click save that. And there we go. I'm just gonna open this file as well, so you actually can see it side by side here. So you see here, this is a title. The title is not centered in CK editor, so this doesn't look the same, but then there's a header 1 to get started paragraph, header 2, header 3, right? And then a table for you. And in this case, oh, actually, you know what we're gonna do? Here you see an example that I used auto that actually created the fastest version. In the fastest version, it doesn't try to figure out how a table works. It just cuts it out as an image. So you can see here, this is actually image, which is okay for HTML, I guess. If you're not gonna send it through to AI, it doesn't actually matter. But let's just change this. Let's just retry this. So we're gonna go to our PDF to HTML and just change this setting then. And we're instead gonna use high-res. And we use the default high-res model. I will come to the models later. We just go back to our content. So with the AI interpolator, it basically works that if nothing is filled out, it will run again. So we're just gonna remove this now. So it runs, reruns this job. And hopefully we're gonna get a table now that is an actual table, right? So here you can see then it has basically generated a visual representation of the PDF, but in CK editor. And since it is CK editor, you can also click edit here and start, editing it if you want to do that as well. So that was the first example. Then I'm just gonna show you how table field works then. So we take this is an Excel file then. So table fields by itself can import CSV files, but in this case you can use Excel files. So you could even use stuff like, let's call this Excel to table field. You could use stuff like someone wrote a table on a napkin because you got a smart idea during dinner or something like that, you can import this into an actual structured table, right? So once again, we need a file, in this case a Excel, and this is it XLSX, I think. We're gonna create another field, and in this case then we're gonna do a table field. So we do table representation, continue, enable AI interpolator. In this case we use this rule, unstructured API file to table, use base mode, use the Excel as the base field, and we use strategy high res. I should probably put this as default on table actually, because you really need it. And save the settings. Then we just go to add content, Excel to table field, call it Excel, and we just need to upload, wait, let me see if that was the right one. Yeah, test table XLSX. We just save this, and this table field hopefully now will be filled out. It even takes the name of the actual table then, so if you have multiple fields in Excel and you set up that you can add multiple table fields, it would create this as well. And then let's go to the third example. So we're gonna do image to text in this case, right? And just do this again. So this actually, in this case, doesn't take an image field. I might add that rule later, but in this case you have to use the file field, because this is just a base field used as context, right? But yeah, if you need it to be able to create from image field, add that ticket if it's in a hurry for you. Otherwise, I will come to that sooner or later, right? So this we call the image source. And we allow JPEG, PNG, GIF, JPEG like that, I guess, as well. Save that, and we create a new field that we take a plain text field in this case, I think. And we're gonna do a markdown representation in this case, right? So we take enable AI interpolator, unstructured file to string again, base mode, image search, source, right? So that's our source. We're gonna take Markdown as output format, and we're gonna use strategy high res. And there are different models then for doing the high res strategy. By default, it uses Detectron 2 with ONNX. So this is a Facebook model that is very fast. So if you're in a hurry, this is usually good enough when you have actual digital file. But in this case where there's an image representation, usually, to be honest, OCR works even better than Detectron. Then there is YOLOX that is a lot slower. It's fairly good. And there's a quantized version that's a little bit better. But then there is also Chipper, and Chipper is a beta model that comes from Unstructured that I would say is superior to all of them, because it's not super slow. It takes, like, depending on image size, it takes 20-30 seconds if you use their software as a service. If you host it locally, it depends on your machine basically, right? So we're gonna use Chipper in this case to try to get all the information then from this receipt. So we're just gonna upload this and receipt.jpg. This is now gonna take a little bit of time because as I said, it's a little bit more complex. Let's just open this receipt so we have it here. So the important thing, if you're gonna use this now in a AI capacity, is that all the data is there. Also maybe understand that merchant ID is connected to this number, terminal ID to this number, and so on, or code. So let's see here. So we get this, and you can see here it's using Markdown even to create that Markdown table in this case, right? So merchant ID is connected to this, terminal ID is connected to this, number is connected to this, and so on. This is a H3 in this case, purchase it becomes, right? So this for me is awesome. I worked with OCR before, but it doesn't become perfectly structured. So I would say this is really awesome for this use case. They have done an incredible job here. And of course, yeah, as I might have mentioned, Markdown is something OpenAI knows about, something that the biggest generative LLMs knows about. So you can do really, really powerful things when you have gotten this structured. Yeah, so that's it. I hope even if I didn't show any AI chains here, I hope I got some ideas into your brain how you can use it on your projects. And also it goes without saying then, since you can host this yourself, and you could use a large language model that you host yourself as well, you could use this for internal documents without, sending it to a third party as well. So yeah, thank you for watching.